Hey, this is Yemoonyah from spiritguided.com. I'm a spirit guide medium, award-winning author, and spiritual growth coach. In this video, I will introduce you to animal guides, who are one of the 7 types of spirit guide that have worked with shamans, priests, mediums, and everyday people across cultures and throughout history. After watching this video, you will know what exactly an animal guide is, if you have received the call to work with an animal guide, and how people across cultures and throughout history have connected with them so you can use these same methods to connect with your own personal guide. Let's start by first defining the term spirit guide. A spirit guide is any being from the higher realms that is connected to us in unconditional love and wants to help us on our spiritual path and in day-to-day life. There are 7 types of spirit guide: deities, so gods and goddesses, ancestors, ascended masters, nature spirits, animal guides, star beings, and angels. Now, what exactly are animal guides? Defining animal guides is a difficult task because many people around the world have similar concepts, but use different terms and definitions. Some cultures in South America, like the Emberá in Colombia, call them the mothers, fathers, lords, or masters of a specific animal species. Examples are the mother of fish and the master of jaguars. Several culturally related indigenous peoples in the Pacific Northwest of the United States and Canada have totem animals. These are the spirits of an animal species related to a group of people, like a family, clan, or lineage. In some neo-pagan traditions, we find the term familiars, which derives from medieval European folklore and describes animal guides who assist witches in practicing their magic. You might also come across the term power animal, as used by the neo-shamanic traditions taught by modern teachers like Michael Harner and Sandra Ingerman. In addition, we find the term spirit animal. The latter gets misused a lot on the internet to define a person, animal, or thing that we admire and are inspired by. To avoid the pitfall of cultural appropriation, I don't use any of the above names. I recommend you don't either, unless you're a member of that specific culture or spiritual tradition. Instead, we need a term to describe the relationship that spiritual seekers who aren't part of a specific culture or spiritual traditions have with this type of spirit guide. I opt to call them animal guides. I understand it as a general term for spirit guides who appear in animal form and represent the collective spirit of a specific animal species. They act as guardians, mentors, teachers, and companions. We shouldn't confuse them with the spirit of an individual animal that has passed. Shared characteristics like sensitivity and resourcefulness connect us with them, as well as regular personal experience and interaction with their earthly counterparts, or shared talents, skills, and gifts. Totem animals, power animals, familiars, spirit animals, and other specific cultural definitions could fall under this umbrella. However, I'll leave it to the people in the cultures and traditions that use those terms to define that for themselves. The rest of us who feel that our lives are guided by this type of spirit guide and have authentic experiences with them can use the term animal guide. One distinct form of animal guide that I want to mention is the Therianthrope. This is a shapeshifter who transforms from human into animal and vice versa, or is both at the same time. The name comes from the Greek therion, meaning wild animal, and anthropos, meaning human. Cave paintings of such beings reach back to Paleolithic times and exist on almost all continents, suggesting that we've worked with them for a very long time. Nowadays, known forms of Therianthropes include werewolves, centaurs, and mermaids. Other common combinations are half human, with the other half being a bear, a feline, a stag, a bird, or a dog. We sometimes classify them as gods rather than animal guides, as is the case with Anubis, the Egyptian deity with a human body and the head of a canine. This shows again that classifying animal guides can be tricky. Not all Therianthropes are friendly towards humans, so most don't work with us as spirit guides. Those who do make powerful spirit guides because they're so ancient and related to humanity and its evolution. As you can see, animal guides have a long history. They come in many shapes, forms, and sizes, but with distinct characteristics, gifts, and challenges. So how do you know if your spirit guide is an animal guide? People that work with spirits in some capacity, like mediums, priests, shamans, witches, etc., and completely normal, everyday people, have received the call to work with animal guides in the following ways. A fascination with one of the spiritual traditions that work with animal guides, an unseen presence when spending time in nature, an ancestral connection to a specific animal guide, repeated synchronicities that involve an animal guide, dreams that feature this type of spirit guide. Or you can take the spirit guide quiz on my website, which will tell you which of the 7 types of spirit guide are working with you. You can find this quiz at spiritguided.com. Now, how do spirit workers communicate with animal guides? Pay attention, because you can use their proven strategies to connect with your own personal spirit guide much more easily. Traditionally, many spirit workers connect with animal guides by dancing themselves into a trance and then imitating the movements and behavior of the animal until they feel that they are the animal spirit. Another very popular way of communicating with this type of spirit guide, which is very common in modern neo-shamanic circles and also amongst some pagans, are shamanic journeys or path workings, which are a form of guided meditations. You can use either or to connect with your personal guide, because this is the language animal guides understand best. So use these tools when you want to meet and connect with your own personal guide. It will make your efforts much more effective. If you want to learn more about the characteristics of animal guides, what gifts and challenges they bring, and what your connection to an animal guide says about you, then read my award-winning book, The 7 Types of Spirit Guide. It was published by Hay House, and it will show you how to connect and communicate with your animal guide through a DIY ceremony that is personalized for this specific type of spirit guide. It's available as ebook, paperback, and audiobook on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Booktopia, Indigo, Waterstones, Hive, and anywhere else books are sold around the world. It's also available in Italian, French, Lithuanian, and Mandarin. Again, my name is Yamile, and as a spirit guide medium, award-winning author, and spiritual growth coach who has connected thousands of people with their spirit guides through readings, workshops, courses, and the book, I would love to help you do the same.